Hey there you guys, welcome back. By the title of this video, you know what it's about. It's about the plants that I can't seem to grow. And I'm not going to give up on because they're supposed to be easy. Easy for everybody else but myself. So, I don't know why I could grow the harder things, but I can't grow the easy things. So, yeah, let's get to it. Let's see what I can't grow. I'm sure a lot of you know exactly what they are and are going to be like, Bill, you're an idiot. This is how you grow it, and it's supposed to be beautiful, and I don't know why yours are dead. So, you're not going to see beautiful plants in this video because, well, they're dead. They're dying, or just really sad. So anyway, first off, this is my Ficus elastica Tineke. So this one is normally really beautiful. If you see healthy ones, they are stunning. And I don't want to give up on this. This plant has doubled in size since I got it, so I'm not technically killing it, but it's really not thriving and it's really not doing very well. So I might get 2 leaves on it every year. Maybe 3 if I'm really lucky. And so these leaves are getting really old and not happy, and that is what's happening. So I put it outside this summer. So I know that the ficus don't like to be moved around. So I try to keep it in a bright, indirect location and try to let it dry out between waterings. Water it well when it needs watering, and feed it lightly throughout. And usually it's supposed to reward you with growth. Usually, maybe I'm giving it too much care, I'm not sure. But yeah, the leaves are a little bit darker, like gross looking. They're supposed to be a beautiful white with the green, and then kind of a lighter green. It's a beautiful variegation when the plant is growing well. I tried putting it outside in morning sun this year because inside it doesn't do anything. It put out 2 new leaves. That's these 2, and then it stopped. So I don't know what was causing it to do that, and it made all the other leaves really gross. So I think a little bit was shock to go outside, and that's what discolored them. But all in all, it should be doing much better than it is, and I don't know. If you have any tricks or tips for this, please let me know. I do know that it likes bright, indirect light. The brighter the better, but not full sun. And I do know that it likes to dry out slightly between waterings, and that's what I've been trying to do. So I don't know what's happening at this point. I'm almost about to give up. So on that note, I'm not bad with all ficus. So I'll show you my Audrey. So this ficus Audrey I've had for only a couple of months, and it puts out about 4 new leaves every month, so about a week each leaf. And it's got a new leaf coming out here right now. It's growing beautifully. I don't understand. So, and the same thing with the altissima. The altissima is also growing fairly well. So this one is the Ficus bengalensis, I believe, whereas the other one is the Ficus elastica. The elastica is supposed to be very tolerant. Again, doesn't like to move around. It gets stressed out easy if you move the locations and change temperature or light. So obviously in the wintertime it might get a little bit stressed because it has less light, but yeah, I've had it for over a year, and it's maybe 2 years, and it's just not doing so well. This one I've had only for, I don't know, let's say 4 months, and it's doing beautifully. Maybe 3 months. So the leaves are looking good. We've got good spacing between the leaves, and it's a gorgeous plant. So it's not all ficus that I kill, it just seems to be elastica. Again, have any tips, let me know. Next one on this list, you're probably going to say, Bill, what is your problem? Bill, I don't know. So I'm going to group this together because I am not good with all of them. This is the neon pothos. So golden pothos, neon pothos, just the pothos in general, the epipremnum, seem to not grow for me. This one's finally starting to do something. I actually started to grow this in the grow tent, and it did beautifully. It started to produce really thick roots, and I'm going to try to propagate this, but as you can see, the leaves are all marked up. They're just gross, and Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think I might be overwatering, so I've been really mindful to let them dry out more before I water it again. So when I see it's dry, let it go a little bit longer and then water it thoroughly. So that seems to be allowing it to grow more leaves. The leaves are still looking pretty sad. So I'm just happy that this plant has got to this point. You're going to look at it and say, Bill, that's gross. Look at all the brown spots. Look at the yellowing leaves. It's not a happy looking plant. And I get it. But pothos, for whatever reason, I have a hard time with. Again, think it's overwatering. Let's get to the next one. I'm just going to put this out of the way. The next one, it's not an epipremnum, but this used to be in the same group. This is a Satin Pothos. What is this one? This is the Scindapsus pictus. It's just, I have never had good luck with this. I've tried growing it on a few different occasions, and it just doesn't seem to thrive for me. It just, one leaf comes out at a time, and it might still be the same thing. It might be that there is too much water, or maybe I let it dry out for too long and then water it, and I don't know. But every time I've tried to grow this, it doesn't do very well for me. I might try to take some cuttings. I might try propagating it and see what happens. As you can see, we've got a little bit of vine that I've flipped up and put back in the pot to try to have it root again. But it just looks so sad. There's only like one leaf, maybe two, and this is a nicer leaf, and then the leaf behind it is already starting to yellow. So there's something not right. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. So that is the Scindapsus pictus. And now into the Heartleaf Philodendron. So they're all kind of that heartleaf shape plant, all very common, all very inexpensive. So this one here is the standard Heartleaf Philodendron. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? So I do have one of these that's growing okay, and it's in a pot that I allow to dry out, and it's in with something else. So it's like a ground cover. The leaves are much smaller than they should be. Like the leaves are maybe 1.5 inches long, and then occasionally when it goes outside I get the normal size, maybe 3 or 4 inch heart leaf. But this one here, I tried to propagate it and give it its own pot, and this is what I'm left with. So this one here got really dry, and it just got watered recently. But as you can see, I've got a couple of little leaves starting on here. You can see it there. I've got a little leaf here at the end. I might try to propagate the end bits. Oh, there's a cuter leaf. As you can see, it's trying. Is it though? Is it? I don't give it terrible care. But again, I think I might be overwatering. These plants tend to be foolproof for those that let things dry out. I used to think that I was underwaterer, but I think that I might be an overwaterer. That's what I might. Some things, it depends. If I don't really pay attention to it, I underwater. But if I'm really trying to make something happen, I get impatient and I think I might overwater. So I think a lot of people are in that same situation. So that is just the regular Heartleaf Philodendron. I think that's Philodendron scandon or scadin or cordatum. It says here Philodendron cordatum. And then in that same group, this is the Brazil variety. So this one is actually looking not as bad. This one here has been in the grow tent and it's been happy-ish. As you can see, the leaves are quite tiny. The leaves should be 4 or 5 times bigger than what they are here, but at least it's not dead. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing incorrectly. Again, probably overwatering, but as you can see, it's not a happy plant, and this is something that I took cuttings of. But all in all, whenever I try to grow these, they don't do well. I think back when I was young, maybe when I was 15, they grew beautifully for me. But now I can't seem to get them to work. So if you have any tips, let me know. And last but not least, in that same field, look at this beautiful gem. This here is my Philodendron micans, and I think that this one might be overwatering. I'm not sure. It does dry out between waterings, but right now it's quite wet, and maybe because I watered it yesterday. I'm not sure. So there are some new growths starting here at the base. I did try to propagate it, and it is growing in a little propagation chamber just off camera here, and it's doing well. but now that it's starting to grow, I'm starting to see it starting to lose some leaves. So I don't know what's going on here. Again, I'm probably overwatering, but I'm not going to give up. This is like a gateway plant to the larger velvety leaf aeroids. So this one is a beautiful one, and if you get it trained up a pole and it's a nice full pole, then it looks stunning. It's got that beautiful shimmery velvety foliage, and it's so pretty. A lot of people really want. It's a coveted plant. Sometimes it's hard to find, but I do have a little propagate of this that is doing okay. So I'll pot it up and I'll try to baby it, but let it dry out. It's hard to baby something and let it dry out when you're watching it all the time. So that is the Heartleaf Philodendron, Pothos, all of those things that are very similar, very tolerant plants that I just can't seem to grow. Next on this list, got a frog in my throat, is the Maranta. The Maranta, I could grow a calathea. Well, I'm doing well with some of my calatheas. Some of them got some spider mites, and when I've been spraying them, the leaves have developed some fungal problems and also burning. So the ones that had the spider mites are looking really, really bad. The ones that didn't have spider mites are looking really, really beautiful, like the lancifolia. The lancifolia is doing beautiful, the vittata is doing beautifully, and the zebrina is looking pretty good. One day I will do a calathea video just as an update. This is what's happening now with all of my trials and troubles and victories. So yeah, this is the Maranta Lemon Lime. I have two of these beautiful, beautiful plants that are dying. Well, they're not dead, but they're just not looking very good. So I've been trying to let them dry down between waterings, but they certainly don't want to dry out completely. But I've been not watering them as frequently as other plants, other calatheas. So yeah, they look terrible. They did go through a little bit of a flowering, so that could have taken it back a little bit. It might have used energy to flower, and that's why things are not looking as great. But the new leaves are yellowing, and they look very, very sad. I really want a beautiful lemon lime. Please let me know if there is a way to make this live. And don't say, Bill, just grow it. It's easy to grow. Just put it somewhere in a bright but lower light situation, not in direct sun, and let it dry out slightly between waterings, because that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. And then we've got here another plant that is, it's not really rare, but it's not a common one. It's getting more common now. The Monstera adansonii, the Swiss cheese plant. This particular one was doing well. It's actually grown quite a bit since I got it. This one is a new one because my other one, over the summertime, you guys have seen this one. This is my beautiful Monstera adansonii that I had repotted with the pole, and we've got some new growth starting to develop down here at the base. I'm trying to let it dry out between waterings, but I don't know. Look at the yellowing leaves, and this might be letting it dry out too much. I check them every week, and if they're light or they're getting light, I do give them a drink. So I really am doing my best to let them dry slightly between waterings. But this is a lot of brown leaves. It shouldn't be that way. I should repot this into a slightly bigger pot. It's starting to grow on enough that it would be happier, I think, with a little bit bigger home. But why? Why can't my Monstera adansonii be as pretty as others? I'd really like to mount this up a pole and fill up a pole. I think it would be beautiful. So what I know about this is it likes a brighter indirect location for lighting, and it likes to dry down slightly between waterings. You'll want to fertilize it with a half-strength or quarter-strength fertilizer. In the summertime, maybe a little bit more nitrogen, because it's just a green leafy growth plant. So I don't know what's happening. We'll see. This one is not doing terribly, but I've got a bad track record. Let me just say that. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm able to turn this frown upside down and finally start growing something that looks pretty. Many of you guys are able to grow these like weeds, and they're in hanging baskets, and they just are lush and full and amazing. But I just don't seem to have that sort of luck. What's the last? I guess the last thing, but not least, is ivy. Hedera helix, or just hedera in general. I took this cutting from outside. These are all houseplants, by the way. This ivy is an outdoor plant, but some people bring it inside for the winter time, or just have it growing on like a bookshelf or something that has high light. They like high light. They are spider mite magnets, so if you grow them inside, you really have to watch out. But I find for me, in the middle of winter, they just crisp up for no reason at all. It could be not enough light, it could be not humid enough, but my house stays between 30 and 50% at any given time. In the summertime it goes up to 60 or 70% because we have the windows and doors open. It's quite humid here in the summertime. So yeah, I don't understand why I can't grow these in the wintertime. I try to keep them moist, I let them dry down slightly between waterings, but they don't seem to be happy. I might actually take this and try to root it, but I'm sure it will just end up with the same fate. Every year I try, because I want plants to start off bigger, because when you buy them in the garden center, they're quite small. When you're buying them in 4-inch pots and you're trying to put them in the planters outside, I just want to have something more of substance to start myself off with. And I know that they're supposed to be easy to grow, so I try, and yeah, I don't have any success. So these are a few. I think I had 5 different types of plants that I cannot grow that are supposed to be easy. And I'd love to know what plants you have that are supposed to be easy plants that you just can't seem to grow. Or maybe you have one that's supposed to be super hard that you just have zero troubles with. Like it's like a weed in your house. I'd love to know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, you guys, happy growing.